She by Sheree? More like she broke the internet because everybody was making fun of her clothing line. Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm Raphael and I am here to review season 15, episode 8 of the real roller skating housewives of Atlanta. So we start the episode off at Drew's house and she's in the kitchen with her daughter and her assistant, Danielle, which had me thinking, what happened to Drew's old assistant from last season? You know, the messy one that kept gossiping between Sheree and Drew and causing them to fall out? What happened to him? I feel like we have potential with him being a future peach holder, or at least a friend of the show for a future season, but I guess she fired him. So she's looking at her daughter's temperature because her daughter was sick 2 episodes ago, but now she's completely fine. She's good again. So she's telling her assistant, Danielle, I had to learn choreography for my new music video for my song, Already Know. You know, do you want to look at my choreography? It's been a while. Danielle's looking at Drew like, you know, you really don't pay me enough for this, but okay, sure, whatever. So then Drew, she tries to play her hit song on Alexa. Alexa, play Already Know by Drew Sidora.
I don't know who Drew Sidora is.
Let me try this again. No. She knows. She's just playing. Okay, Alexa, stop joking around. Play Already Know by Drew Sidora from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Just 1 second.
I'm a Kenya Moore fan, not Drew.
Okay, production, can you just put the cameras down for a second? I just need to fix this for a minute. I would have told production, absolutely not. I need to get a new Alexa. I need to go to the nearest Walmart and get a new Alexa because this one is not going to embarrass me on a TV show like this. But eventually she gets Alexa together. Alexa stops being petty and she plays her song Already Know, which I already said that it's a hit. And she starts doing the choreography for Danielle. Danielle's looking at Drew like, I hope I get a raise after this. So then Drew's husband, Ralph, he walks back in with their daughter and he's like, oh, hey, how's everything? So then eventually Danielle walks out with the daughter into the other room. But if I was Danielle, I would have been in the other room like this, with my ear to the wall, like, ooh, whatever gossip they're about to say, I'm about to sell it to the tabloids. I need a raise. Drew starts telling Ralph, oh, you know, my mom is coming over. You know, everything is regular, right? You would think that's okay. But there's a twist because her mom is also coming with her sister, whose name is Allison. She used to be her manager, but she had a whole mental breakdown like a couple of years ago at the beginning of the pandemic, which that phone call between her and Drew is really sad to hear because you could really hear it in Allison's voice that she was going through it at the time. So I'm glad that she's taking the proper steps to get into a better mental health space. But the other issue here is that she's also banned from Ralph and Drew's house, mostly because of Ralph. Why? Because Drew, according to her, she says that her sister Allison has accused or has put out accusations on Ralph that Ralph is not too happy about. And the accusations are that he's a liar, he's a manipulator, he's controlling, he's a gaslighter, he's terrible, he's trash, or she named a couple of those things, but you know, I'm just adding a couple of extras. You know, allegedly. And I'm looking at this list like, so Ralph, you're upset that she's calling you out on the truth? Like, I don't understand. You know, obviously now looking back at this list, it's like, oh, okay, so she was on to Ralph's BS. And I wonder with everything going on now between Ralph and Drew and this divorce, does Drew look back at what her sister was trying to warn her about and think, maybe she had a point to begin with. But then Ralph, he tells Drew, you know, honestly, with your sister coming over to the house to visit, I don't know how to feel about that. I feel like it's gonna trigger me. It's not gonna make me happy. It's gonna put me in a very dark mindset. Maybe it's best that I leave the house for a while. Maybe I should go. AKA, he was just looking for a reason to leave the house, to head down to Tampa. Like, Ralph, you're not fooling anybody. You were gonna leave the house regardless probably anyway, allegedly. But then Drew, she was just like, no, not so fast. So Ralph, no, you don't have to go anywhere, babe. You could stay in the house. We could work on it. You know, we could work on it together. You know, we could pray about it. We could just take it step by step. But you know, Ralph, in his head, it was already made up that he was gonna leave regardless. He was probably thinking, oh man, I don't want to pray on it. I don't want to be here. I want to go to the strip clubs. I already have my full tank of gas, my bags packed and everything. I don't want to be here. Then we head over to Sheree's house and she's working on her She by Sheree line, or at least she's attempting to make it look as if she's working on her She by Sheree line. And her new idea is She by Sheree, baby clothing. You know, she's trying to expand her empire or whatever you want to call this. And I mean, we have to give her points for trying to do something different, trying to expand, trying to make something out of something, right? But at the same time, Sheree, you have to work on your original idea first. You know, the jogger sets, the shirts, whatever you were first selling last year, you need to try to make some type of profit off of that first before you try to move into a different whole direction, especially with baby clothing. I mean, baby clothing for She by Sheree, I mean, what did TLC say? Stick to the jogger sets and the shirts that you're used to, or whatever the song said. You know, could you imagine? I feel like this is how it will play out. Hey, baby Raphael, guess what daddy got you? I got you your very own first baby jogger set by She by Sheree. Look, it's in your favorite color too. Don't you like it? Look. Wait, why are you crying? Why are you crying? Why are you crying? You don't want to wear it? You don't like it? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. I'll throw it in the garbage. I'll burn it. It's fine. It's okay. I'll get you your SpongeBob pajama. It's okay. Like, Sheree, you need to test out your product on actual babies to see if they like it first. We then see Marlo at the archive, and she's on Instagram Live with her two guests for something called Foster Care Fridays, where she gets together with people to discuss the foster care system, how to better it for the children, or to simply just explain their experiences in the system themselves. And you see, Marlo, this is what I like to see. This is what you should be doing with your platform on this show, promoting conversations like this, talking about this more. You know, I know that this is very passionate to you, so you should be throwing galas or galas, charity events to support the children in the foster care system. You know, it's okay to push people's buttons here and there because we still need a show. But, you know, we need to learn how to balance it. And you see what happens when you have a little less candy in your mouth? No pun intended. But then Sanya, she comes in, and then all of that just goes out the window. Sanya, she sits down, they discuss, you know, Sanya, what she said last week about her clothing line or whatever being promoted on that big website. So she's happy about that. Marlo's happy about that. And then Sanya, she reaches a whole new level of ass kissing because she tells Marlo, you know, Marlo, I really love you and our friendship, and I appreciate you. And I just really do feel like you're the queen of the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Like, I feel like you're better than Portia, Phaedra, Kim Zolciak, Nene Leakes. Like, you're better than everybody. And I just don't like when you get around the rest of the group, they turn you into somebody else. And I'm like, what? Sanya, what? So now you're blaming Marlo's behavior for the past 7 episodes on the rest of the group? Like, what? So you have no accountability for your friend, Marlo. You're really that scared of her? Sanya, come over here. Give me the peach. Give me your peach. Give me your peach. I'm keeping it right here until you prove me otherwise, because this is ridiculous. Like, what? Like, you can't be serious. Like, oh my goodness. But Marlo tells her, you know what? I'm gonna agree with you, but I'm gonna disagree with you because I just feel very disrespected about Kandi. And I'm like, oh, of course, right back to Kandi we go. So she continues, I just feel very disrespected by Kandi because when Kandi said at the Gucci party, oh, fuck those flowers, I feel like she was really saying, fuck my nephew. And I'm like, Marlo, like, okay, so then she goes on to say that Kandi owes her sister an apology. An apology, I'm not sure for what at this point. And at this point, I need Marlo's family, her sister, everybody in her family to come to the reunion to settle the score with Kandi and to actually see if there's actually a problem between them. Because I feel like her family is probably looking at the show like, I never said that. I love Kandi. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, is it really an issue, or is Marlo just dragging this whole thing out? And on Kandi's Speak On It episode on YouTube, somebody actually gifted her a sweater that said, fuck those flowers. So petty, so nasty, and so rude. But Marlo, she tells Sanya, well, you know, I really don't want to discuss the negativity anymore, so I want to discuss the positivity. So, you know, well, Sanya, I'm actually going on a date with this man, and he's Jamaican. So Sanya, she gets so excited about it because she's also Jamaican. And then Marlo in the confessional, she was just like, well, you know, I haven't really been with anybody. Nobody has been between my legs in the last 4 years. Same, allegedly. But according to Kandi, because Marlo also says that she hasn't been on a date in the last 4 years. She's only been with Michael and William, except those 30 days that she kicked them out. But, we're going to disregard that. But Kandi, on her Speak On It episode, she says that that's not true, allegedly, according to her. She says that no, Marlo has dated other men within the last 4 years. So she doesn't know, she knows that she's lying about that. But that's according to Kandi, so who knows? Sheree and Kandi meet up at the park to discuss Sheree's issue towards Kandi. She feels that she's being a little shady towards her She by Sheree line by making jokes or comments online, and she doesn't like that. Even though she could allow Marlo to say whatever she wants about Kandi last season, but now the second that Kandi even makes one small joke or comment about her She by Sheree line, all of a sudden it's a problem. But, I'm thinking they're going to show up to this park, in cute, comfortable clothing or whatever, where at least Kandi did. Sheree, on the other hand, she showed up ready for a runway. I mean, she had on her fur coat, her high-heeled shoes, a nice jogger set. Her hair was so beautiful. I really love that color on Sheree. It's like orange, red. I love the color. It looks so good on her. And just because of that, because of this scene specifically, I'm going to wear my fur coat too. I want to feel like a fancy bitch as well. So they sit down to talk, and Candy's just looking, oh, look at this. I used to wear this everywhere, but now California, it's hot, so there's no point in wearing this. But yes, take a good look. Take a good look at all of this. But they take a seat to discuss, whatever Sheree's issues is. And this had potential to get real ugly, but luckily they kept it very light. It was very funny the way they kept going back and forth with each other, but it was very lighthearted. It wasn't below the belt like Marlo does. But, Sheree goes on to tell Kandi, Kandi, I just really don't appreciate you, making fun of my She by Sheree line like that. Like, I just don't appreciate you constantly making comments and jokes and going online and doing all that, like, doing all this and all that. And it's just really bad business because then people are going to look at my line like it's some complete joke, and I just don't appreciate that, especially from you. I thought you were my friend. Like, why are you making such jokes like that? Candy's looking at her like,
well, first of all, Sheree, I never made fun of your She by Sheree line. Everybody else made fun of it.
and I mean, yeah, to Candy's point, yes, Sheree, I mean, we all did make fun of it. I mean, not from a malicious point, it was just kind of like a joke, like, here and there about your line, especially when you actually dropped it and your website just crashed, it was just... Sheree, she goes on to say, well, I really don't come for you for music advice. I don't come for, well, you shouldn't come for me for music advice, and I don't come to you for fashion advice. And I'm like, ooh. I'm like, okay, yes, Kandi is not the best dresser, or she won't be the best dresser or whatever all the time. But the least that you can do, Sheree, is at least take some type of business advice from Kandi, because I'm pretty sure if you would have done that to begin with, you wouldn't be in the predicament that you were in when you dropped your line and your whole website crashed. I'm pretty sure that Kandi would have given you so many tips and pointers, but... So then Kandi, she's like,
well, first of all, I was trying to buy something off your website, but I believe that the website wasn't even working.
So then Sheree, this is how you know Sheree is just full of shit. Because she starts talking fast and fast and faster and faster, and she just starts fumbling all over her words. And she was just like, no, I definitely put it up on Monday. No, it was definitely on Monday. No, my website was on Tuesday, but Wednesday I was busy. I was having a dinner with Cairo, and then I went out to the mall on Thursday. But no, the sky is blue and the grass is green. No, like for sure. No, my website was definitely up. And I'm like, what? I'm like, Sheree, what? I'm sorry, I need to take off my coat. It's getting hot, but... So then all of a sudden, Sheree tells her, well, I mean, I didn't tell anybody online, or I didn't do any interviews about how I was treated at your restaurant. Me and everybody I came with to the restaurant, we all sat there for 3 hours and the food came out and it was cold. I didn't tell anybody about the bad service. I didn't tell anybody that you didn't pass the health inspection. And I'm like, damn. I'm like, now wait a minute, Sheree. Because Kandi is this close to your face. And then Candy's just looking at her like,
now what did I do?
That was just crazy. Again, they just kept going blow for blow for blow. So then Kandi was looking at Sheree like,
well, first of all, Sheree, that's not my problem. You said that your website was gonna be up, and that's that, and it wasn't.
So then Sheree, she turns it right back on her. So wait a minute, did you buy something off the website? And Kandi was just like, no, I didn't buy it. I tried to buy something as well. I've said it before. I wanted to support Sheree because I do think that the clothing logo is cute. But then I went on the website and absolutely not. Instead of She by Sheree, it's more like she lost her damn mind. Because the price of a sweater, I saw recently, the price of a sweater, if I'm not mistaken, it was like $260 something, and it's just never that serious. So Sheree, I'm gonna support you from afar, okay? I still love you, but Kandi, I don't know if she slipped up or not, but she told Sheree, she was just like,
Well, I mean, it's not my fault that people are making fun of you and your She by Sheen line.
now, it would have been funnier if this was the first time that I've heard the line She by Sheen, but it wasn't. You know, I saw it online months ago when the fiasco with Sheree's website happened, so it really didn't, hit the punch, but it was funny how Sheree reacted. She was quick, and she was just like, no, it's not She by Sheen, it's She by Sheree. Like the whole entire scene was just so hilarious. And I don't know if Kandi actually slipped up and she just said it because she said it so fast. Eventually they kind of squashed everything because Kandi was just like,
Well, you know what, Sheree? If you really feel hurt about something, then I apologize or whatever. I shouldn't have been saying anything about your She by Sheen, She by Sheree website or anything. So I apologize for my comments.
and Sheree was just like, okay, I really don't want to fight you right now. And I'm like, oh, now you say that after throwing out all of these low blows to Kandi. But again, it was a cute, playful banter between both of them, and it was funny to see. So eventually they got up and they walked away like it was nothing. We head back over to Drew's house where she has a cook making all the food for her mom and sister's arrival. Her mom is there, but her sister's not there on time. Eventually, production wraps around 10:30 at night. That's when her sister Allison finally shows up. Drew, she's a little disappointed because of her husband, Ralph. He's upstairs sleeping. I don't think he was really sleeping. I think he was just probably trying to avoid Allison because he probably thought that it was gonna be awkward. Their first encounter, the first second that she walks into the house, he probably wants to avoid that completely. So Allison, her sister, she's walking in, they give each other a hug. It was pretty sad to see how she kept looking around the house like, wow, like it was some type of museum like that she's never seen. Like, wow, like I'm actually inside your house. Like this is really your house, because she's been banned from her own sister's house for all of these years. Like, can you imagine that? But eventually we get to Drew's video shoot for her song, Already Know. And we see the director from last week, Michael Darby, Rage, he's there and he was very pushy. If I was Drew, I would have told him like, is this my music video or yours? Like, I get it that you're a director, but stop telling me every 5 seconds in my ear, okay, we gotta go. We gotta go. Like he keeps whispering in her ear as if they're doing something suspicious. Like, I don't want to tell you in front of everybody, but we need to start filming. Like, relax, Rage, relax. But, he's walking around his Versace suit, and eventually everybody else that she's invited to be a part of the, the music video, they show up. Courtney's there. Moneta's there. She's there. I'm like, oh, look at her. Hey, Moneta. Kenya. Whew. Kenya. Kenya, this whole look that she had, just beautiful. I love the whole pink suit with the 2 ponytails, just so good. She looked amazing. She looked the best out of everybody, including Drew. And this is Drew's own music video. Her outfit, it wasn't bad, but it was okay. It was fine, right? They started filming the video, and for the most part, everything looked good. They were all skating around Drew. She was filming her scenes. They were all participating until Kenya and her shady comment that was very unnecessary in the confessional. She says, oh, I don't want to be the one, but I feel like this is a very low budget version of Beyonce's music video to her song, Blow, which, by the way, that's one of my favorite Beyonce songs. I can't wait till I get home so you could turn that cherry out. Kenya, that was very unnecessary. Like, if you really want to talk about low budget, let's talk about the trip that we went on a couple of episodes ago. That was low budget. Let's talk about the hotel, but okay, so, again, for the most part, everything looked good. I actually looked at the final product because it's on Drew Sedora's YouTube channel. Go check it out because it's a really, really, really nice video. Drew looks really nice. Her hair, she did something different with her hair. She put like brown highlights or blonde highlights in her hair. It looks really good. And the only critique that I can give it is that the scenes that they shot on this episode specifically, I was expecting to actually see more of them, but no, like Kenya, this whole outfit, this really nice outfit that she had, completely wasted because you don't see it at all. I think you see like her leg and like everything from the neck up. And then you see Courtney. I saw Courtney. Sanya, I don't really remember Sanya, but then again, when do I? Moneta. Anyways. And then Ralph and Drew, they had a really nice scene in the condo that they filmed. That was cute because she was giving him a lap dance. And yeah, the music video is really, really nice. Again, I'm a really, really huge fan of the song. I love the song. It's been on repeat since I've heard it on the show a couple of episodes ago. So then Allison, Drew's sister, she's on this side and Ralph is also there. Allison is so happy because she feels that this is the vision that she envisioned for her sister for her music video, that she wanted a roller skating theme. And then Ralph, he was just like, well, you know what? It was meant for you to be here. Like, there was a purpose for you to be here. And then Allison, she breaks down and cries. And I mean, honestly, if it was anybody else but Ralph, directing those words towards me, maybe it would mean something. But, he's just charming and he's probably gaslighting me as we speak. But fine. Okay, give me a hug. I'm pretty sure that Allison is probably watching these episodes back now that she knows that her sister's going through a divorce. She's probably looking back at this like, I should have never let him hug me. Meanwhile, back over at Marlo's house, she's getting ready for her date. She says that it takes a village to get ready for this date, and now she has her proper village. And I'm looking at this like, so you mean to tell me, Marlo, that last season you complained about not having any type of help on Michael and William? You had no village then, but now all of a sudden you have a village to help you get ready, to get dressed, to go out on a date? Like, where's the priorities here? Like, I don't understand it. Like, do we just pick and choose when this village comes over? Like, but regardless, she looks nice and her room looks really nice too. So she's leaving at the house. She gets in the car and she has a drink in her hand, right? She calls Sanya. She tells Sanya, hey, Sanya, how are you? What's going on? What's happening? Sanya lets her know, oh, well, earlier today, I was actually at Drew's music video shoot. Marlo was just like, wait a minute. How come I didn't get an invite? Maybe because you screamed at Drew's face a couple of episodes ago. Maybe that's why. So she tells Sanya, you know what? I'm about to call her right now. I'm about to call her and see what's going on. So she hangs up on her and Marlo is hilarious. This whole episode was funny because she right before she calls Drew, she's telling her driver, who's also her friend, oh, you know what? I'm about to call Drew right now. That fake ass bitch. She's probably gonna like flip herself as soon as she finds out that I'm calling her. As soon as Drew answers the phone, hey, beautiful, how are you? Oh my God, you look so beautiful. Like, so fake and phony. Like, Marlo, like, you see, this is why I cannot take her apologies serious, because 1 second she's trash talking to you, and then 2 seconds later, oh, everything is okay with you. Like, everything is fine between us. I love you. We're like sisters. Like, no, it doesn't work like that. And Drew, she picked up the phone with the right energy, because she picked up with the hello, but like the hello that means, what the hell do you want? Like, she was just like, yeah, hey, how are you? And Marlo was just like, oh, wow, you look so beautiful. I love this. So wait, what's going on? What's happening with your music video shoot? What's happening? Drew, she wants to get to the point. And she was just like, look, honestly, Marlo, I want to keep it real with you. And Marlo was just like, yeah, for sure. Keep it real with me. That's the way I want it. I just feel like, Marlo, you disrespected me by calling me a bitch, and I don't appreciate that. And Marlo claims that because she's from Florida, it's fine and blah, blah, blah. And I use the word bitch, and I do say it a lot too. And it's never from a malicious point, but I see in the situation between her and Drew, when you yelled at her in her face, I mean, it wasn't from a playful way, like, oh, blah, 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 bitch. It wasn't any of that, Marla. So don't try to say that you were just being playful, because it wasn't. And Drew was just like, I don't like that. You can't speak to me like that. You have to talk to me with respect. So Marla was just like, I completely understand. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. No, I truly apologize. And I'm like, okay, she's apologizing, but just wait, because Drew, as she's continuing talking and talking and talking, the liquor starts hitting Marlo, because Marlo was just like, you know what? Get the fuck off my phone. She hangs up on her mid-sentence, and then she begins to trash Drew all the way from like across the highway. Like, she said everything about Drew. She was just like, oh, you know what? Fuck Drew. Look at Drew's wig. That's why it's sticking up. She looks a mess. Like, what is she wearing? Like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't believe this. That wannabe fake ass actress. You know what? That's why her husband is looking at a woman like me, somebody who's voluptuous. And then the driver had to correct her. Like, no, the word is something, right? It was something with a V. I think it was voluptuous, but she pronounced it wrong. And she continued, making fun of her body and saying that her husband was looking at her, blah, 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 fake actress. And I'm like, Marlo, what was the reason? Like, what is going on? Again, you see what's the difference between her and Sheree? Sheree could be shady here and there, but she'll never take it to the extreme the way Marlo does. And the way that Marlo just did it in 2 seconds, that's pretty scary. So as Marlo is arriving at the restaurant that she's supposed to meet her date at, as the car is pulling into the parking lot, she's looking around like, wait a minute. So this is a strip mall. Already she's disappointed, looking around like, wait a minute, what is this? This is not a fancy restaurant in her eyes, I'm assuming. So she's getting out and she walks into the restaurant, and I must say, to me personally, out of all, 8 episodes so far this season, this scene specifically was my favorite scene out of the whole entire scene. I really, really, really loved it. I enjoyed it, and it was just so hilarious because she walks in and her date, first of all, let's go to her date. His name is Scott Lee, and he's very, very handsome, and he has a bouquet of roses. So that right there, he already has 5 points. So he gives it to Marlo, they hug. He's like, oh, my name is Scott Lee. She's like, my name is Marlo. They sit down, and I believe that this is his restaurant. So he started ordering a bunch of random stuff like, oh, bring the food, the drinks, the fish, the bread, the drinks, the whatever, right? And they start getting to know each other. And again, to me, it was just so cute. I don't know if it was genuine or not, or if, she hired him or something to, have a storyline or whatever for this scene, but I thought it was cute. So I was trying to push that out of my mind, like, no, let me pretend like this is real. And Marlo, again, it was just so nice to see her like in a whole different lighting like this, because again, we never actually seen her with a man on this show. So this was really refreshing. And I feel like Marlo, bravo, you should honestly give Marlo her own love show. I feel like Marlo could really do it. Like, I don't know, I don't even know what you would call it. I don't know, I love Marlo, something. But I feel like it will be a really, really, really hilarious show because Marlo's funny, and the conversation that she was having with Scott Lee was hilarious as well. So they're getting to know each other, and she's talking about her nephews, etc., etc. For a second, I'm looking at Marlo like, please don't bring up Kandi. Please don't bring up Kandi. Because the second that she would have started complaining like, oh yeah, this girl that I know, blah, 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 disrespected my nephew, he probably would have told her, can I get the check? But as they're eating, right, they bring over, I believe it was some type of fish or some type of food with a head on it, right? So as Marlo is cutting into the head, he's looking at her and he's trying to be, I guess, seductive or like flirty with her. And he was just like, oh, you're supposed to eat the head. And she was just like, oh, well, I mean, I don't know if I could eat the head right now. I don't do the head. And I'm like, ooh. She's taking a bite out of it all seductively with her fork. And he was just like, oh, well, you have to suck it. Let me see you suck it. And I'm like, whew. Don't gotta tell me twice. Let's go. But Marlo, she was just like, oh, no, I don't suck. I'm sorry, I don't do that. So Scott Lee was like, oh, that's disappointing. It's okay. You don't suck on the first date. It's understandable. And I'm like, oh my gosh. Like, where is the class? But again, like I said, it was a very, very cute scene, and I was just giggling the whole entire time. And Marlo, she's eating the food, and she was just like, so, tell me about yourself. And, there's also a meter that the producers put. It was just like diva, panty dropper, sugar daddy, and then perfect or something like that, right? And it kept going up and down as he kept talking. So then he told Marlo, oh, well, I mean, I have 3 children. One is 15. Okay, that's fine. And then the other one, he's 2. I'm like, wait a minute. Hold on. And then he also says, I also have a 1-year-old. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. So that was still fresh. Whatever type of relationship he had with the last person, that's still kind of recent. So Marlo was just like, so wait a minute. Are you still with the last person? Like, what's going on? Are you cheating right now? She asked him, so are you cheating right now? Like, are you cheating on her for me? Like, is that a thing? And he was just like, oh, no. Like, we're been done. That's that. Marlo, her rule is that you can't have children underneath 5 or underneath 2 or something like that. So then the meter goes all the way down. But then it goes all the way up because then she asked him, so wait a minute. So, do you have any type of red flags or anything that I should know about? So then he was just like, well, I mean, I've gone to jail a couple of times. And I'm like, wait a minute. And then Marlo, I'm thinking she's gonna be like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work. It was the complete opposite because it was like butterflies in her eyes. She was looking at him like, wait, really? You've been arrested too? Me too. Oh my God, we're meant for each other. And then she leans in on him. Like Marlo was so not serious. She's literally leaning on him and they're cuddling. And then he makes it no better because he was just like, oh yeah, we could be like Bonnie and Clyde. What did Beyonce say? I don't care if we on the run as long as I'm next to you. But she was just like, finally, somebody who's been arrested and who could also join my club, the ex-con club. Like Marlo. I'm telling you all, this whole episode was hilarious between Kandi and Sheree, and then this situation just, whew. So she was like, you know, he's just a handsome man, this, that, and the third, and we have so much in common. You know, he won't judge me for my past because I've been arrested too. So I love that, and et cetera, et cetera. So hopefully there's some type of future with him in the future. And I mean, I would like that to be a thing, but I don't know. I will wish that this isn't for TV, but I don't know with Marlo. I don't know, but what do we all think about this whole situation between them? I've seen people online say that he looks like Todd, Candy's husband, and I didn't see that. But then once I saw that, I'm like, wait a minute, does he look like Todd? I mean, I don't know. I mean, could you imagine if Kandi and Marlo were fighting for the same man? And that was the episode. But what do you think? Do you think that this whole Marlo date was real, or do you think that it was just something that she set up for TV? Let me know. I think for next week, they're skipping the episode, so we're not getting a new episode until 2 weeks from now. And I believe in the next episode from the previews, we see Wig Zodiac, Lisa Wu, and Deshawn from the earlier season. So that's going to be an interesting reunion. But I'm also making a video of the Real Housewives most unpopular opinions video later on this week. So if you have any opinions, leave them down in the comments so they could be included in the video. But for now, let me know what you thought about this whole episode down in the comments. Bye everybody. Mwah.